Hello, my name's Tiana.
And my name is Gracie. Today we're going to tell you a little bit about our project.
The title of our project, Go With Your Gut, means to always stay true to yourself and trust your intuition. Our project was all about conformity and not letting your opinions and thoughts be influenced by your peers. When making a decision, we should trust our instincts and just go with your gut.
We chose this project because both of us found it really interesting that many teenagers and children may conform and change their answers just to fit in. So we decided to further research and understand why people change their answers and which age got affected the most by social conformity.
The purpose of our project was to determine and test whether people would conform to the opinions of a group. We tested to see if people's thoughts and opinions changed to match the opinions of their peers, or if they kept their answers the same without being influenced only to fit in. We also wanted to test if older or younger students conformed more than the other.
Our procedure for our experiment was having 6th grade 4 students in a room and have them all complete a Google survey, a series of 3 opinion-based questions. They were then split into groups of 3 and discussed their answers and recompleted a paper form with the same questions. We also tested the grade 7 participants with the same procedure to see whether older or younger students conform the most.
After conducting our experiment, we found out that our hypothesis was supported. The grade 4 students conformed an average of 0.83 times, and the grade 7 students conformed an average of 1.16 times. These results support our hypothesis because we predicted that older participants would conform more than the younger participants. We also observed that the quieter students tended to conform more to the students who took a leadership role in the group and who were more confident in their answers. The students who were more confident conformed once or not at all, and if you look at the table of our results, you can see how each individual participant reacted. The information we gathered from our experiment could be used by schools and leaders when talking about and explaining peer pressure. This would benefit students by learning about how to resist peer pressure and influence. Psychologists who study human behaviors or sociologists who study social behaviors, interactions, and social influences might also find these results and information useful.
The most difficult part of our project was definitely our experimenting. Our first experiment was conducted online and was a version of an experiment we found during our research. It consisted of 9 participants completing a Google form about the length of a line. When we did our experiment online, the format didn't work, and when we did it in person, the results just weren't accurate as the background individuals were giving their input and it just didn't work. So we then changed our experiment to the one mentioned earlier.
If we were to continue research on this topic, we would research more on whether gender affects conformity and whether or not adults conform. We could research more in depth about whether individuals conform to the opposite gender and if one gender conforms more than the other. We could also research if adults conform since their brains are fully developed. In our research, we found out that teenagers conform more since they use the emotional center of their brain to make decisions. Teenagers' brains are not fully developed. Adults use the prefrontal cortex to make decisions, which is the rational part of their brain. So we would research and test if they conform as much as teenagers.
So how do we use the scientific method in our project? Well, we had an original question: does age affect conformity? We then made a hypothesis about it. We hypothesized that older students would conform more than the younger students. So we researched our topic to gain some general background knowledge, and then we tested it with our experiment. We then recorded our results. So the scientific method helped us stay organized during our project. It told us the proper order of doing our research, experiments, and recording our results, and helped us stay on top of our work and due dates.
Thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye.